Well, it's the time of year when we actually start to see some snow on the map, and we've seen that, right? Places just to the east of Salt Lake City up into the Wasatch picked up some snow out of this, a dusting of snow, at least maybe even a couple of inches at the top of some of the peaks, especially, again, just to the east of Salt Lake City. And now we're looking at some snow going here up into the higher elevations of Montana, also into Wyoming as we head into Wednesday, as a potent system moves out of the Rockies north into Canada. Out ahead of this, as we move through the day Wednesday into Wednesday afternoon, there could be some strong to severe thunderstorms, mostly up here in this area, I think, toward places like South Dakota, Minnesota, also maybe even into Nebraska, Kansas, down into Texas as that line moves through. But again, we are starting to see the seasons change, some snow flying in some areas. I'm just going to tell you guys, September's my favorite month. I don't know about you, but it seems just like a nice, tranquil month. Usually we're dry, sometimes too dry, right? Some of you could really use some rain. But what about you? What's your favorite month? Let me know down in the comments below. I always love hearing from you guys. We do have some rain in the forecast, though, especially in places like West Virginia, down into parts of Virginia, the Carolinas, and we're really dry back here into Ohio, Indiana. Unfortunately, no rain in the forecast here through Thursday, at least back into parts of Ohio and Indiana. This is what's left of our tropical system, starting to finally, at least some of that moisture pushing away. And then there goes our stronger storm up into Canada. And then there's your trailing cold front. So there could actually be some strong storms Thursday evening, a little bit further to the east. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting places like Minneapolis, St. Paul, north into parts of northern Minnesota, all the way down into parts of Iowa and Missouri. So again, that's going to be with that front as it pushes to the east. So out ahead of that, that's where we're going to see those strong storms. Some damaging winds, maybe some hail, and I don't know that you could rule out a tornado. Not the perfect setup for that, but still some severe weather on the way as this upper low swings to the east. And we also have another storm that's going to be moving into California that will likely bring more wet weather as we head into Friday and Saturday. So let's get back to this map again. We'll track the wet weather now moving toward the end of the week. More showers across the East Coast, hanging tight here across the Northeast. Maybe we scour out some rain here into the Midwest, down into the Ohio Valley, up toward the Great Lakes. I say maybe because it's not looking super favorable with this setup. And then we're watching another storm. That could actually bring some more snow, maybe back into the Colorado Rockies as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. That's that next system that's moving into the West Coast. That will eventually pivot to the east. And, I don't know how strong this is going to get, but it's starting to become that time of year when you watch these lows. You get your fronts like this. Here comes our next system like this. So these mid-latitude cyclones start to get a little bit stronger as our troughs start to dig a little bit further to the south. Now we're getting out in dream world, right? So once the GFS goes beyond day 7, things get kind of wacky. So you can't go verbatim with what we're seeing here. But it's been interesting. The last several runs, the GFS, and it has a bias to do this, by the way, it's been trying to develop something tropical in nature in the Gulf and pull that north. It's also been hinting at this for the last several runs too, some colder air trying to bleed in here into the Northwest. Does that happen? Again, we're looking at next Thursday, not this week. So a long way to go before we get there. And then let's just let this roll. There goes again, these things really get overblown, but you can get the idea. We are turning colder here as we head into October. It's that time of year though, right? As we see the seasons transition. All right, let's talk about some of the rain that we're seeing as we head through the evening hours. It will continue here for the Mid-Atlantic, at least as far north as Maryland and maybe even parts of Pennsylvania, down into Virginia. The heaviest rain shower activity is really here in the upslope areas, and really here as we get that easterly flow off the Atlantic, pulling that moisture in up and over the mountains. On the west side of the mountains, you get a bit of a downslope flow. So what we're seeing here, that air that's sinking here out of the east-northeast, it's really losing its moisture content. It's getting squeezed out here by what's to your east, the Appalachians. And now our system also moving away as we move into Thursday and Friday. So again, as we said, drier weather for many of these areas who really could use some rain. Here's that next system, though, that we're watching. This is what brought the snow into parts of the Wasatch, now bringing some snow here into parts of Wyoming and Montana. You got to go really high up into the mountains, though. Valley rain here. And some of these storms, again, could get strong as we move into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. Or I should say Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. Mostly here, right in this area here from Nebraska down into Kansas and into Oklahoma. And then as we move into Thursday, now we'll get the days right. This is when things will initiate again out ahead of the same system, now pushing off to the east. So watch out Minneapolis, possibly as far north as Duluth, and then down into Iowa. I think this is going to cross the entire state then losing its punch once we get to around midnight. So kind of a moisture-starved system. There could be some high shear, though, here with this. Again, some rotating storms could cause a few tornadoes, something to keep an eye on as that area of enhanced severe weather picks up there, moving into really Thursday. Although we will see a few strong storms on Wednesday. Our next system pulling into California, we've already got some winter weather advisories in effect, up to 5 inches of snow possible above 8,000 feet, really get up around 8,500 feet. That's a better freezing level for you. And that will spin through Thursday into Friday. Look at this, kind of sticking around too, right? So here we are on Friday with kind of that showery look here across central and southern California. All right, that's all I got for now, guys. If you're wondering about the winter ahead, I did do a winter forecast. That's right here if you want to check it out. Kind of talk about some of the things that I'm looking at. We've got some snowpack starting to build across the globe, and we're also looking at sea ice starting to expand. We've already rounded that curve as we head toward winter. See you next time.